Ontario. Beautiful day here today. My name is Dave, and this is McCarroll Siding, my in-scale railroad. This is the continuing journey of experiments in making stuff to save you money on a model railroad. Geez, I'm having trouble talking this morning. What's happening? Anyway, first, I need to apologize to all of you for last week's video. It's not obvious when you look at me that you would think that I'm deaf, but I have no hearing in my right ear and very little hearing in my left ear. So that was our water purification system just beeping and telling us it needs to have a filter replaced. And I had completely forgotten about it because I can't hear it. Even with the one hearing aid that I wear, I still couldn't hear it. So anyway, without further ado, let's get on to what we're going to do today. So we're going to make tufts for your N-scale railroad. Now, tufts can be purchased. Let me just go here. Yeah. Or is it that way? That way. Tufts can be purchased in little containers like this. Now, I get mine from either AliExpress or Wish.com. The only problem with these is they're really scaled for HO and bigger. They make great little bushes. Let me see if I can just get. I got one here. I'm just going to put it on out here. It's tiny. Let me see. It'd be nice if I had a pair of tweezers, but I don't see a pair real close, so we won't bother. But you can see it's about the size of my my fingernail. Now, in N scale, that's like 5-6 feet. So these aren't tufts; these are bushes, and that's what I use them for. Now they're not expensive, but they're not inexpensive, and when they're the wrong size for your scale, it's a big problem. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make our own. Now, in order to do this, you need a couple of things. First off, you obviously need a static grass applicator. This is a must here. I mean, you could do it without. I guess you could do this without it, but static grass makes it a little easier and gets the fibers standing up properly. So what I've got in front of me right here is a baking sheet. And we'll just switch to it right there. And so what I've got on the baking sheet is a piece of parchment paper. Now, parchment paper, almost nothing sticks to it, including the glue that works for this for this experiment. And then what I got is a piece of acrylic, clear acrylic plastic, which I've drilled different size holes in. So I've got 2 rows of one size and 2 rows, excuse me, oh my god, of a bigger size. So how I do it is I put the plexi on top of the parchment paper. I've got some 1, 2, 3 blocks, and that just stops it from moving around while we're working on it. Now, you could use PVA, you could use tacky glue. I went out and actually bought the glue that's designed for making tufts. And again, this is from War World Scenics. These guys are really amazing, considering that it's in the UK. Delivers just as fast as Amazon sometimes, which is amazing. And then, so I need that. I need some static grass. And what I've done here is I've taken static grass. Oops, what the heck's that in there? I've taken the static grass and blended it together. So I've got a blend that's called Winter. blend that's called Winter, a blend that's called Patchy, which is sort of a almost a brown, and then one that's called Autumn. And I just took all of those and mixed them together. I also have a bag here of another color green, and what's this one called? This one's called Spring. So I have enough static grass for a little while. The applicator came with this green, which is way too brilliant. I would have to spray this down with something to make it look realistic, because this is way too green. And they also sent another one with a mix of color in it. So what we're going to do here now is, now I've already experimented with this and I found what works best for me. So I have a little container, and I'm going to put the glue in the container. And then I have, these are, I mean, they look like cocktail sticks, but they're not. They're actually swabs. They have cotton right at the end here. And what I do is, in order to control where the ink goes, I put a little swab in the glue in this container, and then I take it and I dab it into the opening on I'm going to call it plexiglass, but it's not really plexiglass. It's just an acrylic sheet I got at my hardware store. This is just a leftover piece of acrylic from building an enclosure for one of my 3D printers. So what I do is I quickly go along here and I just put a dab of glue down inside. And so that I don't waste anything here, I'm actually going to do the whole sheet. Now, this Tuft glue remains fairly sticky even after it dries. I'll show you what finished ones look like once we get this part of the demo. So just quickly here, we're going through here, glue down in there. Now, because this glue is not intended to be gluable with the plastic, it doesn't stick to the acrylic sheet. So that's the 2 rows of the small ones done. And now I'm going to switch from the tiny little thing. And I bought cotton swabs, but these cotton swabs have pointed ends. My understanding is they're used for cleaning guns, but I've never used them to clean any of my guns. Anyway, here we go. So now, dab, dab. Oh, I need to put more glue in there. 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 Now, one of the things about using the plexiglass is that it gives a sort of wall to the for the static grass to stand up inside. So it makes it a lot easier to get tufts that are standing up. Now, like I say, the tufts you can buy, at least on Alley and on Wish, they are they're too big for end scale. And I've tried to find ones that are smaller, but I've been very unsuccessful with that. So I'm just gonna, you see here, all I'm doing is taking the Q-tip and poking it into the hole, making sure that I get glue down on the parchment paper below. Just kind of squishing out all over the place underneath there. But that doesn't matter on these. It'll give it a more natural look. If some of the grass does go out the edge there like that. In here, and last one. So I got glue down in there. No, I don't think so. There we go. Okay. So now we have glue in all of the holes. Now, I'm going to take my static glass applicator and I'm going to clip it to the metal tray. So right down here. I'll move it. I'll move it right there. You should be able to. You can just barely see it down here in the corner. All right. I'm going to take my applicator now. Take my applicator, and I've got my mixture here. And I'm just going to fluff it up a bit. Now I also, I don't know when I bought it, but way back I bought a little package of long fibers, yellow in color, and I was thinking, oh geez, these will make sort of good reeds and bush cattails and stuff. So I've also mixed some of that in here, but I've cut that to fit. So now here we go. Actually, I'm gonna pick it up and do it by hand. Where's my little? Oh, there's my little one. So I'll put that over there. And put that there. So here we go. So close this up. I'm going to reattach the clip. And power this up. Now this time around, like the last couple times you see me use this, I've used it with battery power. This time I'm using it with, it's plugged in to a power bar. So here we go. Now, one of the reasons I use the baking sheet is a really good conductor of electricity. Yeah. Also, it reduces the amount of waste. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's my phone upstairs. And the only reason I noticed my phone is because of the tune that's being played, which is Scotland of the Brave. Usually gets a reaction when I'm in public. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to fill these holes. So I'm putting as much down as possible. So I'm just going to shut this off for a second. I'm going to reload it. And let's see, why don't we, I'm going to try this stuff. Doesn't matter, it's all an experiment. Now this is all 1 millimeter static grass. And even so, 1 millimeter in scale is a decent distance. Alright, so we'll turn it back on. And here we go again. Now, like I say, the sides of the holes I drilled keep the grass going up. And now I'm going to just take the, and you can, I'm going to switch cameras, so just in case you can see that. So I don't know if you can see it or not, but if you watch, you can see right underneath the applicator how the grass is standing up. And I'm just going to keep doing that. Okay. And that's as simple as it is. Now, oh, the static grass gets everywhere. So now what I'll do, what I do is, because the basement is cool and stuff, I just leave it for a couple of days. You could go and brush off the plastic like this, but here you go. You can see how those little tufts have been made. I'm just using a makeup brush, again a dollar store purchase, but there's what they look like. Let me see. I wonder, can I? Oops. Focus. So that's what they look like. So it's not difficult to do. You just need to have the splice. Now, you know, hunt around the house, find something that's like an acrylic sheet. You might even have some plastic somewhere. And I used a step drill on my drill press to drill the holes. So what I do now is I take this and I put it away somewhere. And for now, it's just going to go down here on the floor. I'm going to disconnect that and make sure that's turned off. It is. Okay, here we go. So what you end up in the end is this. And that is 7. Wow, that's not what you want to see. You end up with a piece of parchment paper with little tufts on it. And what you need is a sharp there it is, buried underneath the static grass applicator. So then all you do is you just take the parchment paper and you fold it over at the edge of the tuft. I'm wondering which one. Let's see if 5 makes it a bit better. Where are we at here? Is that this camera? Yeah, that's this camera. Okay, so you've got tufts on the stuck to the paper, and to get them off, what I do is I just fold it over right at the edge of the tuft and take my knife and just gently pick. And once you've got enough of it up that you can grab it with your finger, you can just pick it up and bingo. Let's see here. You have a little tuft of grass. That's the right scale for end scale. It's not super tall, but it is again the right scale for end scale. And it doesn't take long to do this. Obviously, you just saw me do the whole thing in one go. The tuft glue is actually still tacky, even after. And these have been drying for I was going to say almost a week, but not a week, maybe 4 or 5 days. And it's still tacky, so you can actually just peel them off the parchment paper and pretty well just push them down onto your ground surface, and they will stay stuck. I mean, I always put extra glue on them anyway, but you can see how easy this is. This is not difficult, and when you compare them to the ones that are made for, I'm gonna just gonna adjust this. There we go. See? So that's it. A quick tutorial on Tufts. I think they do make a difference when you've especially if you want to use them up against buildings and stuff to show sort of weeds and growth and stuff around the building foundation. These things are wonderful, and it does, as you can see, it doesn't take long to do, and it's an easy, quick way to save yourself some money. So that's it for this week. I'm still trying to finish the quarry. I decided that we're going to focus on just getting that done. So next week we may be back over at the the layout itself. I have found a track plan for my yard, and I went out and bought some big sheets of cork, and I'm going to make that a series when I do start there. I've ordered some layout templates to work with so that I can lay everything out on the cork. Not when it's not on the layout, I'll probably do it on the floor over here. And once I've done that, then I'll know exactly how many more points I've got to order. It looks like I have more than enough left. It's the right hands that I don't have, and we're going to have to see about that, because at $20 a pop US, they're not cheap. Last time I did a calculation, it was around $200 for all of the switches for the yard. So anyway, thank you for watching. Take care of each other. We'll get through all of this together, and I'll see you next week with a new video. And goodbye.